Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Nelson, and today we're going to talk about literacy development in America. Going way back to one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, we have a nice little quote here. An educated citizenry is a vital requisite for our survival as a free people. Thomas Jefferson may have wanted a common education system for citizenry, but being a slave owner, he did not consider slaves to be citizens. So they were not part of this education, this literacy movement for which he pushed. In the beginning, you see, we did not have a public school system. Only the wealthy were able to hire teachers, have their children educated, and it kept up that two-class system. The educated wealthy and the poor that were kind of just stuck in that level without an education. African Americans were not generally educated during this time period, although there were very few laws that prohibited their being educated. Most did not see the need, unless it was useful in the job that that particular individual was doing. Now, Thomas Jefferson, being very educated himself, studied a lot of philosophy. And one of those philosophers that he studied was Martin Luther, and Martin Luther's idea of the priesthood of all believers. This concept was one that we should have everyone educated to be able to read. Thomas Jefferson agreed, thinking that this was necessary for a democracy to continue. You cannot participate in a democracy if you cannot read and understand politics. 1831 Nat Turner Rebellion. 80 enslaved people retaliate against their treatment as slaves and murder about 55 white people. Now, the initial pushback was a massacre of up to 200 black people, but further reaching were the anti-literacy laws that began to be passed. You see, this fear that blacks, free or slave, could read was frightening. This was going to be used for further rebellion unless it was absolutely stopped. It's not until after the Civil War with the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments that we really see the change. 13th Amendment ends slavery, but it was the 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States. You see, now that they are no longer slaves and they are citizens, they're going to be part of this education system because they're going to be part of our government and part of those people making decisions for government. The Freedmen's Bureau was created in 1865 as part of the Reconstruction movement after the Civil War. They provided food, shelter, medical care, and yes, education to those formerly enslaved individuals. By 1870, we're looking at almost 250,000 black students with almost 10,000 teachers. Now, this by no means was an equal experience to what white children faced in their education system. But now being considered citizens and open to a common education, we were definitely moving in the right direction.